Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve one frequently asked hard coding interview question, and it's a question frequently asked by big tech companies such as Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. This is related to the autocomplete system. So this is on Leetcode 642 design search autocomplete system. So we'll go through the problem statement, we'll go through some examples, and we will go through the logic how we can implement and solve this coding question. This is one of the hard coding questions on Leetcode and very popular coding interview question by big fan companies. So make sure you watch this video until the end so that you can completely understand the logic behind this problem and the Java solution for this problem. Before we start looking into the problem statement in details, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people in their Java J2E and coding interviews. On my channel, you will find lots of helpful videos that can help you in your interview preparation, such as there are more than 400 different problems solved and explained in videos, and those are created using whiteboarding sessions, examples and Java code for your easier and better grasping of those problems. Those are the coding questions which are taken by previously asked questions by Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many other big financial clients. If you go through those videos, that will give you really good preparation for your coding interviews. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. That will be definitely help you in your interview preparation and Java interview preparation. So subscribe to the channel now. So let's start with the Leetcode hard 642 design search autocomplete system problem. So design a search autocomplete system for a search engine. Users may input a sentence, at least one word, and end with a special character hash. For each character they type except hash, you need to return the top 3 historical hot sentences that have prefix the same as the part of the sentence already typed. Here are the specific rules. So here they are telling us what the rules, right? So the hot degree for a sentence is defined as number of times a user typed the exactly same sentence before. The return top 3 hot sentences should be sorted by hot degree. The first is the hottest one. If several sentences have the same degree of hot, you need to use ASCII-code order. Smaller one appears first. So if they have, let's say, two sentences are there and they are typed by users same number of times, right? Then which one can we choose basically in that case? So we should use ASCII order. They are saying the lower the ASCII order, the hotter is the sentence basically, right? If less than 3 hot sentences exist, then just as many as you can. So that is fine. When the input is a special character, it means the sentence ends, and in this case you need to return an empty list. Your job is to implement the following functions. The constructor function, so autocomplete system, so this is the class we will be implementing, and this is the constructor, right? So it takes sentences array and it takes times array, right? So the input is a historical data, sentences is a string array consisting of previously typed sentences, and times is corresponding times a sentence has been typed. Your system should record this historical data. So that's fine. Now the user wants to input a new sentence. The following function will provide the next character the user types. So this is another function that we have to implement. It is a input character C, right? And we have to return list of string. The input C is the next character typed by the user. The character will only be lowercase letters A to Z, blank space or special character hash, right? Hash means basically we want to terminate basically, right? So also the previously typed sentence should be recorded in your system. The output will be the top 3 historical hot sentences that have prefix the same as part of the sentence already typed. So this is what the problem statement says. So problem statement, it will be more clear once we take a look at some examples they have given us, right? So let's take a look at some examples, so it will be more clear to you what they are saying basically, right? So let's take a look at these examples. So this is the example they have given us, the autocomplete system. So they will give us this constructor, right? So constructor is, this is the strings, right? And this is the number of times that string appeared basically or being typed right previously. So as you can see, for example, what it means, like I love you string types 5 times, island types 3 times, Iron Man 2 times, and I love Leetcode times 2 times, right? So this is the frequency. Now this is the input that is given to us. So we will let's say we are initializing our system based on this input, right? So let's first walk through this example completely, then we will discuss our approach to solve this problem, right? So now the user is typing I. Let's say user is typing I. So we want to basically identify the 3 hottest sentences in this given input, right? So these are the how many 4 sentences. So we want to identify the 3 hottest sentence. So how we will identify the hottest sentence? So first thing they said is the sentence will be the hottest if it appeared maximum number of times. So for example, here this is the first hottest sentence, right? I love you 5 times. So this is the hottest sentence because maximum number of times in these sentences, right? This is the first hottest sentence. The second hottest sentence is island, right? Because this is 3 times, right? Now there are 2 sentences, Iron Man and I love Leetcode, correct? So both are appearing 2 times. So now which one should we choose? Because we need 3 sentences maximum, right? That we can return as the autocomplete system, right? Now what we have to do here, that what they said is we have to go character by character, right? So first we will go character I and character I. So both are same, right? Then we will go to the next character. So next character is R here, right? And next character is space here, correct? I hope you can see it. So or I can just make it a little big so you can easily read this. I think let me just make it a little bit big for a moment. Just hold on a second. Yeah, so now you can easily read, right? So this one is basically what we are saying is, so first character between island and Iron Man, right? Both have same character I, right? Next character is different now, right? Here R is there and here space is there, correct? So space is basically lower in ASCII character value. That's what they are saying. So I'll just move it a little bit so I can explain you. So as you can see, they are saying that ASCII code for the space is 32 and R is ASCII code is 114, right? So basically we will be choosing the I love Leetcode, right? Because it has a less ASCII code, right? R has a ASCII code which is more 114, right? And space has ASCII code 32. So we will choose space basically, right? Because the lower the ASCII code, the hotter is the sentence. That is what they have said, right? So that's why we will choose now 3 sentences we will return, right? I love you, island, and I love Leetcode, correct? Iron Man we will ignore it, correct? Because only 3 we have to return, and these are the 3 hottest sentence after the user types I, right? Now the next thing user types is a space, correct? So now he is typing space. So what will happen after he types space? Then we will remove this island from this result now, right? Because now here I and space is there, here also I and space is there, right? But island does not have I and space, correct? So it means that island we will be removing basically. So now only we will have written two sentences now, right? And those are I love you and I love Leetcode, correct? So let me just show you that. So as you can see here, we will return I love you and I love Leetcode, correct? After user types space, right? Now after that, so basically what we are doing here is, let me just write down this. So let's say first he typed I, right? User typed I, then we matched these 3 sentences, right? I love you, island, and I love Leetcode. Now user typed a space, so it will get appended basically to this one, right? So now basically it looks like this, I and space it looks like, right? So I and space means this island will go away, right? Because there is no space in island. Now I love you and I love Leetcode will remain, right? Now after that user is typing A, they are saying. So now this is what their search will look like, I space and A. So as you can see, there is no corresponding sentence here which has I space and A, right? This does not have I space and A. This does not have I space and A, correct? So we will have to return empty here. We are returning empty, right? Because it's not matching, correct? So one thing you have to understand here is the character that user is typing, it is getting appended to the previously added inserted character, right? So it gets appended basically, correct? So now it became I space and A. The search string becomes I space and A as the user keeps typing, right? And after that, now let's say user is typing hash. So hash will get appended, and hash means now we will just return empty string in the case of hash, right? So I'll just show you that. So I'll just remove these colors. So now let's see. So now after A he is inserting hash. So after hash we will just return empty string, right? Because user finished the input sentence now, basically, right? So this is you can imagine this as a autocomplete system, like for example Google, right? You type one word, one character, and you will see some results in the drop down, right? So it is something similar to that basically, right? So this kind of autocomplete thing we are trying to implement. It's autocomplete system. This is quite relevant problem in many big companies. That's why this is a very important coding question that you should know if you are preparing for any coding interviews, right? Because auto completion, if you are developing any web applications or enterprise level applications, is a very common scenario where you need some auto completion search, right? Where user will type some character and then you wanted to show what might be the things he is looking for, right? So this is one very good interview question. That's why it is very good interview question. So this is the example. From this example, I think this should be clear what the problem is with this example, like from this example, right? So now let's talk about like how we can implement and solve this problem using Java, right? So what we can do is to decide the hotness of every sentence, we need two things basically, right? We need this sentence and we need the number of times, correct? So we will create one class, call it as, let's say, node, right? Node is our class. We will take account into two things. One is the sentence, right? Sentence, and other is the time, right? Number of times that sentence is occurring, correct? So we'll create one static class called at node, and we will create nodes from all these sentences that are given to us in the input, like in the constructor, right? After that, whenever user types any input, for example, if he types I, right? If he types I, we will go through the and then what we are one thing we will be doing after creating this node is we will create one map, right? We will create a map, and map will hold basically these keys, right? Like let's say I love you is the key, and then number of times that one is created, right? Like 5 times that one is accessed in the historical times, right? So this kind of a map we will create, and every time user types any input, this input, right, we will go through the map and we will get corresponding the strings, right? The corresponding strings that matching this input basically, right? So for example, we'll get in the first, when he types I, we will get this I love you, island, Iron Man, and I love Leetcode. All these 4 things we will get. We will put them into a list, and then we will sort this list. So list will be list of node objects, right? List will be list of node objects, and we will just use collections sort method, right? Collections class in Java has a sort method, and we can define the way we want that objects to be sorted, right? So in that in this case, we will define the way that we wanted to first that sort the objects based on the times. If the times are matching, then we wanted to sort the objects based on the ASCII order of the characters, right? For example, in these 2 sentences, because both have same time, so we will use ASCII characters. Basically we can just use the string comparison, right, for that. So while we are sorting, right? So once we sort the list, right, then we will get all the list in the sorted order, and we will just pick up the first 3. right? The first three will give us the three hottest sentences that we can collect and we can show it to the user after his after he enters every character, right? So first I, then he will enter space, then we will again go through it and we will check which are the sentences that are matching our pattern, right? For example, I and space, right? So this will become our string that we wanted to match for. So now once we are matching, we will only get I love you and I love Leetcode, right? Only these two we will get in that case, I love Leetcode and I love you, correct, when we are matching I and hyphen sorry, I and space, right? So we will again go through the same thing. We'll create a list, we will go through the top three hot sentences and then we will display those sentences to the user, correct? So this is the way we can use the Java's collection sort method and the map and the list and the node class, right, to implement this autocomplete system. So it will become more clear when I show you the code, but I think you got the idea of how we can implement it in Java, right? So it's not that difficult actually. So let's go back to the Java code now and I'll show you the Java code. So first, this is our autocomplete system class, right? So we will create one node static class here. So every node will have sentence at and how many times that sentence appeared, right, previously, correct? And this is the constructor we will have for the node class, right? After that, we will create a map. As I said, map will hold string and integer. Why string and integer? Because it sentence is the key and times is the value, right? That's why string and integer. That is the map. After that, we will say current character sent by the user, right? We wanted to keep capturing what he is sending, right? So we will keep capturing into this variable. So we'll just have a string here. Now this is our constructor, right? So constructor, we will get the array sentences and array times, right? So every sentence and how many times it appeared previously, right? So we'll go through all that sentences array and we will create our map, right? So sentence and then how many times it appeared. So our map will be ready to use after the constructor is done, right? So now let us take at this important method input. So here user is going to send us a character C and we have to return the list of string. And what is this list of string? The three hottest sentences that we find, right? So that's what we wanted to return. So we'll just create the result as the new array list of strings here, right? That we will be sending it at the end of this function, right? So first thing we wanted to check is like did user enter hash, right? If he is entering hash, it means that he wanted to terminate the search, correct? So if he search for that specific session, right, he's terminating the search for that specific session, then in that case what we will do is we will just wanted to put our current character sent as the key into the map and we wanted to put the frequency, right, from current character sent, correct? So we'll come here later, but you just assume that this is basically he is terminating the search, correct? Because for example now in this case, right, sorry, let me show you, this is the example, right? So in this case I'll just remove all these colors now. So in this case, first he types I, let's say, right, I, then he types space, then he types A, and then he wanted to terminate now the search. So he will just type hash, correct? So that's what scenario we are handling here. So let's take a look first in more details into the else part, right? So now he types I, for example, right? So first we will create a list of nodes, right? It's a array list. Then we will just append the C character to the current character sent, right? Because we wanted to append it, that's why we are doing plus equal to, correct? Because as you can see from these examples, we always wanted to keep appending the characters for that current session. For example, when he types I, so I will come, then when he types space, then space will get appended to it. When he types A later, then A will get appended to it, right? And then when he types hash later, hash will get appended to it, right? So we are just appending it basically, correct? So this is what we will do. So current character sent. So for example, now the first character came, so it is I, let's say, right? So after that what we will do is we will go through the keys of the map, right? And we will check if the key contains that character, right? So if the key contains that character that we have now, then it means that it is a possibility that we wanted to return that as a hot sentence, right? Then we'll just add it into our list, that key. We'll create a node object from the key and from the number of times it appeared, right? Because key is the actual sentence and map.get key will give us the number of times that appeared, right? For example, here it will give us uh, let me just move here this one. So correct, like here I, when he types I, it will give us like I love you island, I love Leetcode, right? So because I love you will get 5 times, right? So like that, right? So sentence and number of times it appeared. So that's how we will create the list of nodes, right? And why we are preparing this list? Because this is what we wanted to sort it later, right? Now we created the list of node objects. Now we wanted to sort it, right? And why we are sorting? Because we only wanted to get the 3 first hottest sentences, right? We might get lots of sentences into this list, but we only wanted to choose the top 3 hottest sentence. How we will choose it? Based on the sorting. So we'll sort those lists here, right? So first thing is, if both sentences have the same times, right, then we will just use the string comparison. As you can see here, this is the compare to method is of the string class, right? Java.lang.string, right? So this is what we will use when the times are same, right? If the times are not same, directly we will use the b times minus a times, which means that the more the time will come on the top, basically, right? That's what this means basically. So this is a very important thing. This is a n log n time complexity, right? Sorting. So this is the n log n time complexity. After sorting, what we have to do is we have to just collect the top 3 from this sorted list. So that's what we are doing. We are getting top 3 hot sentences and we are adding into our result. And here we will just return the result, right? So this way we will get the top 3 hot sentences, right? So next time again when user types let's say space, he types, right, again the control will go into the else, right? And the current character sent will get appended here. So our current character get will get appended. So let me just type it for you here. So now I used to be the first character, now it will become I and space. So we'll search based on I and space, correct? I and space, what we will get on I as I and space, we'll get I love you and I love Leetcode. 2 things we will get, correct? So that is what we are doing. So other things are same basically, right? So now when the user types hash, right? So when he want to terminate it, what they are saying, I'll just show you that. So let's say right here. So here, right, hash, special character hash. Also the previously typed sentence should be recorded in your system, right? So when he types hash, then we have to record it into our system. So that's what we are doing here, right? So we will, whatever current character sent is, right, we wanted to record that into our map. So that's what we are doing. So we will just get from the map, and this is the frequency of that, right? Current character sent. So what is current character sent will be, the current character sent will be this string basically, right? I'll just write down here. So I space and a will be the current character sent and its frequency will be 1, right? Its frequency will be 1. The default will be 0 and then plus 1 we will add right here. So and current character sent will be reset. So we will reset it, right? So that in next session again when user types, it will again continue the autocomplete search from the beginning basically, right? So this is basically we are resetting the search, correct? Resetting the current character sent basically, you can say, right, to the empty thing. That's what it will reset, right? So that's what we have to do. So this is the way we can solve the autocomplete system problem, a very important coding interview question frequently asked by FANG companies. So we will test now our solution that we discussed based on these same examples that they have given us, and I created one other example. We'll test that on. So let's take the same example here and we'll just run our code now. So hopefully you got the idea of like all this. The code is pretty simple once you understand the logic. So before we do that, let's talk about the time complexity and space complexity here. So time complexity means we are actually for let's talk about the time complexity for this input function, right? So we are going through all the keys of the map. So if there are n different sentences, we'll go through all the n sentences. This is the order of n, correct? And here also this is a fix, right? This is always 3, but collections dot sort will be more factor basically, right? Because this is n log n, right? So it is more than n, so it will be time complexity will be n log n for this function input, right? So that is the time complexity. And the space complexity means we will be storing n sentences into the map, right? And then again we will create this list here to hold all the like n sentences, all the n node objects again here, right? So again you can say that it is a order of n, right? The space complexity, because we will need space for a list and a map, right? So that's why it is on. So this is the same example that I created. So as you can see, I love you, I learn, Iron Man, and I love Leetcode, and this is the same frequency. So user is first typing here. So first user is typing I, then he is typing space, then he is typing a, and then he is typing hash, right? So and then we are printing whatever result we are getting, correct, after each typed character. So let us just go ahead and execute this code snippet. So let me just show you here. So as you can see here, one more time. So here, right? So once user types I, we will get I love you, I learn, and I love Leetcode, right? Iron Man got ignored, right? Because it has the more ASCII value, right? So that's why. Then when user types space after I, then these only two will be coming, right? Because I and space means only these two will match. Island will get removed now, right? Now after that, when user types a, so it will be empty because there is no I space and a, right? I space and L is there, but I space and a is not there, correct? That is why we will get empty. And after that, again, if user hits hash, if user clicks hash, then we will still get empty, right? So this is the way the autocomplete system will work, right, on these four different sentences. So let's add one more sentence for our this same test, right? So now we will say that I space I am going to school, let's say, right? Now in this case, let's take a look. Now the result will be different, right? So let's take a look. Sorry, we have 5 values, right? 5 values, so we have to type 5 values here. So let's take 3 here, right? So now as you can see, first when user types I, we will get I am going to school, I learn, and I love you, right? So I love you, I am going to school, we will get, and I learn we will get, right? We will not get Iron Man, and we will not get I love Leetcode, right? Because these have more like less ASCII character code basically, right? So only that one will get picked, right? So that's how we got picked this one. I love you, I am going to school, and I learn. Now when user types space I love you, I am going to school, and I love Leetcode will come after that when user types space, right? Because these have the space, right? Island does not have a space, so it will go away. But now all these three have a space, correct? And so I love you, I am going to school, and I love Leetcode. Now if user types a, then this is the only sentence that matches it, right? Because I space and a. So that's what I wanted to show you. So this is how the search, auto search is working, right? So this is how it works basically. So I just wanted to show you that when user types a after I and space, this will be coming, right? Others will go away. So I created another example that will just quickly execute it, and then so this is the another example. So I will just basically copy paste that example here because it's to avoid like. So this is the new examples we are talking now. So it has like I go to school, I go to airport, I like Apple products, and I will prepare for exam, right? And this is the frequency of those sentences. So first he is typing I, right? Then he is typing space, then he is typing G, and then he is typing hash, right? So let's execute this example. So once he types I, we will get I go to school, I go to airport, and I like Apple products, right? So here we will not get this I will prepare for exam. And why? Because this W will be coming, this I like will come, right? Because this W is having more ASCII code basically, right? In this both have 2 as the frequency of times, but this ASCII less is coming basically, right? I like Apple products. So after that, when the user type space, right, then it will give us I go to school, I go to airport, I like Apple products. So still the same will come, right? Because both all have the space here. Now if the user types G, then only these will come. I go to school, I go to airport, right? Because this one does not have a G here, right? So only these 2 will come now. I go to school, I go to airport after user types G, right? And after that, when user terminates, it will just terminate it and give us the empty uh, result basically, right? So this is how the search auto complete system we can implement using Java with the help of hash map, list, and with the help of this node class and the collection sorting, right? So if you are new to my channel has a dedicated playlist called as Leetcode and Leetcode solutions that has over 250 varieties of solved problems explained with whiteboarding session examples and Java code for your easier understanding. The just as we did here, right? We always like do these whiteboarding sessions so that people can easily understand the concepts of the problem. You can go through those videos that will definitely help you in your coding interviews preparation, and those are the problems which are asked by big tech companies, and they constitute very important coding questions varieties such as graph problems, binary search tree problems, linked list strings optimization problems, as well as lots of logical questions and dynamic programming problem, etc. So go through it, that will definitely help you. If you still want to practice more problems, then there are 3 other playlists on my channel you may want to take a look at: Code Forces, Code Chef, and AdCoder. All in all, there are more than 400 different varieties of problems solved and explained with examples and Java code. Always the Java code is shared through GitHub repository, and links are always shared in the description so that you can check out the code, play with the code for your better understanding. If you like my Java solutions, please consider giving it a star to the GitHub project. That would be great. If you like this video, if this video help you in understanding this problem in an easier and better way, then please give it a thumbs up or give it a like to this video. Subscribe to the channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who can look into the videos, and they also get help by watching these videos in their interview process. They can also understand by watching the videos how different varieties of problems can be solved using different techniques and using different data structures and Java. So if you like this video, please give it a like, share it as much as you can with your friends and colleagues. They will also watch this and they will also get benefited in their interview process. If you have any questions, put your questions below the description section. Also, to become more and more confident in your coding interviews, keep practicing different varieties of problems that will boost your confidence, and try to use different techniques to solve different problems that will also boost your confidence. One simple tip I wanted to share with you guys that might help you is when you are preparing for in-person or whiteboarding coding session interviews, try to handwrite the code. Try to not use IDEs. Try to handwrite the code and try to use some whiteboarding websites. You know, a lot of websites are there which can help you in your whiteboarding sessions. That will boost your confidence in your real interviews. So I just thought that I'll share this tip with you so people will benefit from it in their interviews. I often create videos whenever I find any interesting problems and important problems from coding interview perspective asked by big tech companies, so others can benefit from those videos by understanding the logic, how the problems are solved. So don't miss all the videos. Hit on the bell notification icon, so as soon as I post it, you will immediately get notified on the videos. And keep coding, keep practicing, keep learning, and thanks for watching these videos.